What's up guys, Mitchell Watts with Town & Country TV. And when I first realized that Ford Motor Company was refreshing the new Ford Edge, I got a little deflated because it looked like they were just doing a couple of things different, calling it a new Edge and calling it a day. And I have to say, Ford Motor Company actually just sent us a trainer and this particular pre-production prototype to our dealership to teach us about the new Edge. And let me tell you, I was wrong. This thing is packed with technology that I'm going to share with you in this video. This is our review of the new 2019 Ford Edge. Since this is considered an MCA, a mid-cycle adjustment, what you're going to have, the bones of the vehicle are going to be the same, but what you'll notice is you have a different hood, more of a flat-lying hood, and actually looks really nice. One of my favorite keys of this new Edge is the way that this hood looks, almost kind of like a flat look to it, but it also has some shoulders to it on the front of this hood. You also notice they completely changed up the grille and the rear lower valence to match everything else on the front end. As far as the other part on the outside, you do have a brand new set of wheels all the way around. As you can see, the tail lights are completely different, and you'll also notice that the rear applique is also going to be different, where they've got this painted black versus actually a light that looks like it goes all the way across. I actually had one of our sales consultants say that this thing looks like the rear of an Acura MDX. I don't know if that's a compliment or a cut down, but I personally love the way that the back of this thing looks, and I also like that rear lower valence, and every single one of our Ford Edges are going to have a dual tipped exhaust, which is pretty interesting because the 2.0 EcoBoost is the only engine that you can get unless you go to the ST. Speaking of engine, let's go ahead and take a look at those right now. As I just mentioned, as far as the Edge, you only have one available engine. That's going to be the 2.0 four-cylinder EcoBoost. And as you can see with the horsepower and torque numbers on the screen, it is a very high producing engine. It's not like it's a slouch or anything, but it's something important to know, because the new 2018 to 2019, you lose the 3.5 naturally aspirated V6 engine. It's going away. And I kind of had a feeling that was coming when they actually changed up the engine models on the previous version. But yeah, this is what you get. Now, if you do go with the ST model, you do get a much bigger engine. You also get the all-wheel drive system we're going to talk about here in just a few minutes. But that is the only way to get a different engine on the new Ford Edge, is to actually step up to the ST model. As we come onto the inside of the vehicle, you'll notice that some of this looks very, very similar, and some of it looks a little bit different. You'll notice the seats look very comparable to the previous version of it, but the center stack is really what I particularly like. As you can see, they've completely ditched the shifter handle for this rotary dial. I mean, everything that Ford has is pretty much going this direction, but one of the reasons that that Ford actually engineered it this way is not probably for what you think it is. The reason they did that is so they can actually install a wireless charger for your iPhone or your Android phone. So it's really nice that now, brand new for the new 2019 model, you do have the wireless charger built in, so no more having to bring your iPhone cord or to bring your USB cord to charge your phone. It's done right there automatically. As we talk about the steering wheel, a neat little fact, there's 22 buttons all over the steering wheel of this new Ford Edge. And some of these are going to look very familiar, like the D-pad on the left and the right-hand side of the vehicle itself. But what I want to point out to you is this little feature right here. You have your cruise control where you can adjust the speed. You also have the gap distance for the adaptive cruise control. Now, for the very first time on the adaptive cruise control, you also get the availability of a lane centering system. So basically, we've had lane keeping assist with this little toggle switch over here where you'd press this, and if you started to leave the lane, the vehicle would automatically steer it back in, just to basically keep you from running off the road. That's old technology, believe it or not. I can't believe I'm saying that. But now with the adaptive cruise control, this vehicle actually features the lane centering. So what's going to happen is the cameras in the front of the vehicle are looking for the lines in the road, and as long as you have adaptive cruise control turned on, the vehicle will smoothly, and I guess smooth is kind of a relative term, but Ford Motor Company says that it will smoothly keep you into the center of the lane, so you don't even have to worry about this if you don't want to. So now we have lane centering and lane keeping as almost two different technologies. It's the same technology that features two different things. It accomplishes two different goals. The last thing I want to talk about as far as the adaptive cruise control is the feature does give you the ability to have stop and go. So basically the vehicle can bring you to a complete stop, and it can even help you with emergency braking if the situation calls for it. This vehicle even also has the ability to evasively move and swerve out of the way to help you avoid an accident. Now, I did learn something new about that because I didn't know necessarily like that technology, but we did find out that you actually have to be the one to initiate the evasive steering, and then Ford Motor Company inside this technology will help you evade that other vehicle that you're trying to get around. So you do have to start it. Ford will help you finish it without hopefully getting into a wreck. Now, I do want to tell you that Ford Motor Company does not guarantee that this will prevent accidents. They do say that it will help lessen the severity or potentially even avoid it altogether. Now, the last thing I do want to talk about is this vehicle features a brand new technology that allows you to completely stop after the vehicle has come into a collision. So if for some reason you do get in an accident, one of the worst things about an accident is the potential to roll on into other oncoming traffic. This vehicle will stop that from happening. And now we're listening to the audio system. This is a B&O premium audio system. You probably can't even hear me talking because that system is so loud. All of the doors are shut, the windows are open, but it's a demonstration to show you how good and how clear this audio sounds like. And as you can probably tell, B&O Play, it's Bang & Olufsen's company. It's basically the system that's inside of this. 12 speakers throughout the entirety of the vehicle, and the best part about it is the same company is owned by Harman Kardon, so it's one of the best audio systems that you can find on the market, and it's tuned specifically for this Ford Edge. One of my favorite things about this new Edge is the fact that there's so much technology that comes standard right out of the gate. In fact, you have the Ford Pass Connect. The ability to remote start the vehicle is automatically included on every SE model from there going forward. Just huge. Satellite radio, standard. Blind spot information system, standard. Pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking, standard. Lane keeping assist and auto high beams. All of those are standard equipment features that were found on this year model's Edge that were not on the previous gen. Since we want this to be one of the most encompassing videos you can find on the new 2019 Ford Edge, we do want to talk very quickly about towing capacities. So this particular vehicle with a front-wheel drive is rated for 1,500 pounds worth of towing, and on the all-wheel drive up to 3,500 pounds. As far as the ST model goes, you do have a lot of different features that are going to be standard on that. 335 horsepower, which is 20 horsepower above the 2018 Ford Edge Sport, which is pretty strong, and 380 pound-feet of torque, which is 30 above the 2018 Sport. And as I just mentioned, 3,500 pounds worth of trailer towing capacity. As far as the electronic stability control, you do have 4 different options, as you can see right there on the screen, for everything from everyday driving to full track mode. As far as the ST Performance version goes, you do have a brake package that you can purchase, front and rear vented disc brake rotors, which are absolutely massive. They've got a low metallic pads for better bite, basically better cooling for high temp fade. It's just the best all-around option if you're going to take your vehicle to the track. One of the things that we kind of alluded to a little bit earlier is the new all-wheel drive system. So previously on the all-wheel drive system, you would basically have, it's a front-wheel drive vehicle that sends power to the back tires when it needed to, right? But you would have this drive shaft that goes from the front to the rear of the vehicle that's always spinning no matter what. And where it disconnected or engaged was actually in the rear chunk. Now, new for the new 2019 model, same thing, front wheel drive with the all-wheel drive functionality, but the connection is actually done up here at the front by the transmission or the transfer case, and so that way you're not having all this dead mass that's rotating and killing up all of your fuel economy. So you're gonna get better fuel economy out of the new 2019 Ford Edge. And there you have it. That is our review of the new 2019 Ford Edge. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it a little bit useful. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. And if this is your first time on the channel, we are a Ford channel dedicated to everything that's Ford related. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and play Ding Dong Ditch with that little notification bell that's sitting right next to it. If you'd like to follow me personally on Instagram, you can see my handles right there on the screen, and it's also linked down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great day.